enjoyed it, and I liked it,
Yeah.
and so we
And there's nothing wrong with that.
no, and it's normal.
Right.
I mean, this is how we're made. Once we start into puberty, we start getting sexual feelings. I mean, this is how we're designed.
The following podcast is for informational purposes only and does not constitute legal, medical, or any type of professional advice. While we strive to provide accurate and up-to-date information, laws and regulations surrounding sexuality, relationships, and consent can vary by location and are subject to change. If you have specific legal or medical concerns, we strongly recommend consulting with a licensed professional in your jurisdiction. Listener discretion is advised, as this podcast may discuss adult themes and sensitive topics. By continuing to listen, you confirm that you are 18 years or older. Welcome to the Siren of Freedom podcast, sounding the alarm by bringing clarity and freedom to the realm of sexuality. Our aim is to give others a place to share their stories and release themselves from the weight of shame and guilt. Hello, everyone. Here we are with another episode of the Siren of Freedom podcast. And today we're welcoming our guest, Kat. How are you today, lady?
I am just fine. Thank you for having me.
Well,
I'm honored.
I'm really excited. I'm always excited, though. I say it every time. I keep saying that I'm going to change my verbiage, but I'm just excited because every single one is a new story. Even if we know you a little bit in real life, it's just a chance to get to know you better and your story of sexual freedom. So welcome.
Thank you.
We always start out just like having you tell us, a little bit about your upbringing. Like, what was your family dynamic like? Go for it.
Well, I am probably one of your oldest people that you've interviewed. I am a baby boomer, and I'm an adoptee. And my parents who adopted me, they were of the greatest generation. And what that means is that they had really old values pertaining to sex way before the sexual revolution of the 60s. And I didn't grow up with any brothers or sisters. And I really had no mentors, meaning females or aunts or brothers or sisters, cousins or anything. Mm-hmm. So I really had to discover things on my own. And I can tell you, when I was 3, maybe, I started touching myself, and I really enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. And then I can recall my mother saying, "Oh, we don't do that." And it's like, but it feels good. Mm-hmm. And so I started to do that in the privacy at night and things like that. So basically, I've been masturbating as long as I can recall. And mm-hmm. believe me, that's a few years.
I would say, like, you're definitely you're old enough to be my mother. Mm-hmm. But you're still sexy and young and hot and fun. And so age is just a number, everybody. But we're excited to have you here for like just the length of experience that you've had in all the areas. So I think it's pretty normal, actually, that children start just, exploring what feels good and what doesn't feel mm-hmm. good on your body, hot, cold, a variety of things. So self-exploration at a young age should not be surprising to people, but that's a common thing with the older generations. You know, they don't talk about it, right? So so was there any sort of, you know, so you had that. So that was probably like your first instance of, did you feel like shameful or bad in any way when she said that? Or
Yeah.
like, how did you feel when she told you we don't do that?
Yeah, it was something that we don't do that, and she didn't explain why, and so I had to sneak around to do it,
Right.
and it wasn't a daily thing, but when the mood struck me, yeah, I did, and sex was not really talked about at all. I can remember, what is it, in fifth grade, the schools put out, now you're going to be going through puberty and the females are going to have their periods and the boys are going to start having feelings and things like that. I remember when I started my period, I was 11 years old and I had no clue. What's a period? What is a period? So sex really wasn't talked about. And then as I got older, the message I got was good girls don't. Well, I'm a good girl, but why do I feel this way? You know, and I would fool around with some male boys and stuff like that.
And what age was that you started?
I would say probably about 12. You know, after I started having my period and I started developing and having sexual interest.
And then getting sexual interest towards you, I'm sure.
Yes,
too.
yeah, and I really didn't know what to do with it. I mean, there was no manual and nobody.
And no guidance. Like your mom didn't sit down and say, "This is what we do with it." What happened when you started your period though? Like, and you didn't know. Like, what was that like?
Well,
like, were you like, "I'm dying"?
Yeah, I remember I woke up in bed and there was blood in my underwear, and I thought, oh my gosh, I must be sick. And so I cleaned up, and then before school, I noticed there was more blood in my underwear, and then I told my mother. She says, "Oh yeah, this is what you're going to experience every month." And let me
And then
tell
you're
you,
like, "Fuck."
oh, it's like, oh God, really every month? And, you know, the whole thing of the Kotex and the whole 9 yards. And I remember I had terrible cramps. And my mother says, well, cramps aren't supposed to hurt. And so I always thought, well, there must be something wrong with me, you know? And it just was a whole dynamic. They got me when they were 40. So basically, it was like my grandmother raising me. And so there just was a real disconnect in the generations. And that was kind of hard. I wish I had someone to say, you know what, these are normal. This is a normal feeling. This is, periods do hurt sometimes, and you know whatnot. But when I got my first boyfriend,
How old was that?
I was 12 years old. He
Me too. I French kissed when I was 12 years old, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah, I mean, it's like, damn, this is good, you know? I mean, you have no clue what you're doing, but you're enjoying it. Yeah. Well, the story is that we were together, as 12-year-olds can be, for about 6 months. And both of us, interestingly enough, were adoptees. And but we were also of the age and interested. So my mother worked at the post office during the day, and I was home and he would come over and we got naked in my bed and did everything but penetration. And that was titillating. That
Yeah,
was,
your face. You're like all
Listeners, I was about to
glowing.
say, listeners, you should see her face.
yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it, and I liked it.
Yeah.
And so we
And there's nothing wrong with that.
no, and it's normal.
Right.
I mean, this is how we're made. Once we start into puberty, we start getting sexual feelings. I mean, this is how we're designed. And to halt that is kind of a crime. Explore it with an adult, meaning, this is how I feel. What should I expect?
Have a conversation.
Yeah. Why is this not socially acceptable? I mean, even though, you could think right or wrong, and
It's because
sort of
parents
thing.
don't want to talk. They're like, oh, it's awkward. Just like kids like say, oh, it's awkward to talk to your parents or whatever. And so that's just been passed down.
Yeah.
Like I don't think we've had one yet. Maybe the farm girl. Her mom was like, she's like, what's a blowjob? And her mom's like, oh, a blowjob is this, da 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 da. And was really cool about it, but still didn't sit down and educate her or anything.
Right.
Just answered questions. So at least that was a little bit, more information. But I think almost all of our interviewees so far, their parents like,
Yep.
no, I probably had the most of anybody.
No, I
And
had the most.
You had the most from me. Oh. Your dad was like, we should get you a prostitute. And he's like, Dad, I'm already having sex. I'm fine. No need to pay.
Well,
Save your money.
yeah. Well, and I mean, I was interested in the opposite sex, and so we moved away, and then we moved to the Pacific Northwest area, and I remember going to the school. It was in April, and schools was going to get out May something here. And the first boy I met, I was attracted to. And I was 13, but he had a girlfriend.
Boo.
Yeah, he had a girlfriend. So I, here me being the new kid, and I didn't want to give the wrong impression, and nor did I want to be bullied or anything like that. So school got out through the summer, and then when school started up again, hey, is Will still seeing Betty? And no, and it's like, So I had a friend say that I'm interested in him, and we've been together 49 and a half years.
That is so awesome.
Yeah, 49 and a half years.
So then was Will your first?
Penetration?
Yes. Well, obviously we know like the rolling like thunder under the covers. That was all.
That was, and it was great. Yes. Yes, he was.
The first complete experience.
First complete experience. But I have those thoughts in my mind from my mother. Good girls don't. And the thing of, once you do, he won't have anything to do with you again. And of course, in my mind,
You have to like hold it ransom or something, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. It's like, if it was me and somebody was putting out and I liked it, I wouldn't drop them.
Right. It must be something that you need to correct.
Yeah. But it was scary. I remember the first time we were in his dad's pickup truck, and it.
Wait, I have to ask.
Okay.
Was it a Chevy or a Ford?
Oh, Ford.
Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah, baby.
We are a garage divided around here. My husband is a Ford guy and I am a Chevy girl. So,
Well,
anyways.
I get that. Yeah, my dad was a Chevy.
Not
was a Chevy
everyone's
guy.
perfect,
Yeah.
right? All right. So, I'm still interested in hearing the story, even though it wasn't a Ford.
We live in a rural area, so it was a farm truck, and I mean, Will cleaned it out and everything, so I didn't feel gross or anything.
Right.
But how he started, of course, was kissing one day and then the next, touching shoulders and going down to the breast, and then before you know it, it's hand down the pants. And remember, we're from an era that did not have the internet. I mean, sure, there was girly magazines and all that, but it wasn't readily available. Nor did we have sex images blasted to us like they do now. By any means, the girls and the guys were still having sex, but it wasn't as open or talked about as much. And so...
was he already experienced? Had he already had sex?
No.
You both. It was you both. So you kind of just went with the flow and the vibes.
We did what was natural. And he likes to remember it as I was starting to touch him and I was putting my hand close to his crotch, that he put my hand in his pants. And so I got to feel him that way. And like I said, we're from the era where pubic hair is very, it was still a thing. People didn't shave. So it's like, oh, hot damn. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And so a condom, he would have to go to the store and the drugstore and get the condoms and stuff like that. And after a while, it's like, well, this is no fun with condoms. So I actually got on the, not the pill, but...
I don't even know what was back then. I have no clue.
The coil.
So similar to IUD.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. That was it. And
I know that much.
his sister is the one that actually took me to the health department to get the first IUD, and I had it until after we were.
And you could get that before you were 18? That's good.
Oh, I bought cigarettes too. I'd go to the store and get my cigarettes.
Oh, yeah. We would get cigarettes when we were like 12 or 13.
Yeah.
We would write a note like it was from the mom, and then they would sell them to us.
Yeah. Nobody has ever ID'd me. So I must have always looked old. Or old enough.
Now I'm like, can I just show you my Botox receipt? Like, does that work?
Yeah.
But now these girls are stinking getting Botox at like 18, 19. But,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But, well, I'm glad that was like an option that you were able to, because can you imagine asking your mom to take you? Like, what do you think that conversation would have been like?
I would not have.
Yeah.
I just would not have, because we just didn't have that kind of relationship.
Yeah.
And you've got to remember, of course, now I can realize it. She was 40 years older than me. And by this time, I am 14 years old. And so she's in perimenopause and things like that. So God only knows what she's going through. And we just didn't talk about it. So Will and I were having sex. We decided to get married as soon as he graduated from high school. And we have been having sex all this time. And I remember asking my mom, so what should I know? And she said, oh, don't worry about it. He'll know what to do. And I thought, well, that doesn't help me, you know. So my sexual journey, and I'd say Will's sexual journey, has been exploring together and figuring out where we're comfortable and what we like, and just going from there.
Yeah. And how much is he a year older than you?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
so you basically like the summer after your junior years when you got married then?
Yeah. Yeah. I graduated early.
Oh, okay.
And so he went into the service and I followed him. And for 2 years, it was just him and I at his duty station, and it was fantastic. No parents, we enjoyed life.
Yeah. And then you have children, right?
Yes, two daughters.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, and what did you do differently with them? Like after your experience of that, like growing up, like what kind of in your mind when you had kids, you were like, what am I going to do differently? What did you do differently?
Well, I tried to have conversations with them that what you're feeling is normal and what you're experiencing is normal. And I have to interject here with something. My youngest daughter, she's a sweetheart. She was interested in boys, but none of the boys ever stuck. And we're going several years later, and she married a woman. And it's like, looking back, I can now see that, yeah, she was probably bisexual. And I wish I was able to talk with her more about that because I would have learned more.
Right.
And I would discovered more about myself from her. And so it's been an interesting journey. But now I have to tell you, I have grandsons, and two of them, one just graduated this year, and I have always told them, if you need condoms, let me know. Grandma will go buy them for you.
That's going to be me.
Yeah.
Don't you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to deny that the kids are not having sex, but do it safely.
Right. And what do their parents think about this hot to trot granny?
Oh,
like super open about it.
No, they wouldn't expect anything less from me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're very much. We can talk about anything.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. That is, I know I embarrass my husband and my kids at times, but I really just, when I've talked to my kids like one-on-one, they may roll their eyes at me. They may make comments to others, but they have all separately expressed that they do appreciate that no matter what they go through in life, that they will be able to come and tell me and they will be able to talk to me about it, sexual or not sexual, even if it's hard, because they just know like mom talks about all these things. So whatever we bring up is like, no big deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
There's nothing taboo.
Yeah.
It may be hard, but not taboo. So it's, no, it's, I wish I had this as an only child growing up. And you asked about what I would do differently had I had that. I would have been more open with my children about things, but I wasn't raised that way. So we don't come with instruction manuals. So
right. But did you feel a little more comfortable to talk to your children like when they were going through like puberty and all of that?
I did.
Yeah.
But at that time, the internet was just happening and things like that. And so they were getting a lot of that from their peers and, I already know all about that and things. So it's like, okay.
I remember one of my kids was like, I won't say boy or girl, but well, obviously you're going to know actually by the question. So that was silly. But he was like, what does a vagina look like? I just want to know what it looks like. And so I just like pulled up some pictures, like just, the medical ones or whatever. And he was like, oh, and then he never asked about anything else again. Yeah. So I know he knows more now, but like, he was just like, eh. But he just kept asking. And his dad kept being like, you don't need to look at that. You don't need to look at that. And I was like, why not? Let's just like show him. Like, so
Yeah.
it's not, he just wants to know, you know?
And it's the same exploring your own body. You know, absolutely. I mean, how can you expect to please anyone else if you're uncomfortable with your own body and don't know what's what? And it's it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, and you can't direct anyone. Like, how many women do we know that are like, oh, he's terrible in bed or whatever? But, well, is he terrible? Or do you just like not know how to direct for your
Bingo.
own body?
Bingo.
Right? So it's like always has to be a mutual learning thing. Even, you know, from the time you first have sex, then if you're an adult and having multiple partners, it's like you have to learn together because it's a new body. You know, it's not that you're bad or whatever, but if with that directing, you know, because I'm like really communicative, but it's like if you communicate well, that's when you can maybe make a judgment call, like this guy just not listening to me, right? But but it's, I just try to encourage women to just like speak up. If it, you know, you don't have to say that feels terrible or whatever if you, unless it's hurting or something, but you can, there's lots of ways of directing in the moment, you know, like to different areas and stuff like that. So there's lots of ways of going about it so that everybody can experience pleasure. But a lot of women just, you know, growing up in church, like it's, oh, your husband needs it and he physically needs it. And if you don't give it to him, like then he's going to go to porn or some other woman or, you know, all these things. And it's like, well, it's actually for everyone. It's not just for men. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there is no timeline on our sexual being. I mean, the moment we die, we stop being sexual. And so
how do you know?
how do you,
Maybe we'll be floating around and we'll be like, we'll still be sexual beings. We don't know.
I think we will be actually.
Yeah.
Just in a different form or,
Right.
you know, whatever.
An aura about us.
Yeah. Well, in my professional life, I can validate that people are still sexual as they age. And boys will always be boys and girls will always be girls.
Oh, I know at the assisted living where my grandparents were, they're like there's shelves and shelves of condoms, and like the residents can come anytime, and they're like, we go through so many.
Yep.
So many condoms. And I was like, well, that's good. They're still like being safe, you know, even
Yeah.
though pregnancy is not a thing
Yeah.
anymore at that age, but
STDs sure
Yeah.
is. Yep. Yep. And
a little outbreak at the care center. Like, everybody line up and get your shots.
absolutely, you know, it just, and the one thing about life is that change is constant. And, you know, as we age and our body doesn't seem to cooperate how we remember it and stuff, you know, we just need to figure out
New ways of doing things.
new ways of doing things and what works. And it's okay to explore. It's absolutely okay. It's healthy.
I love hearing from older people too, because when I was younger, I would always wonder, I'm like, oh, like, do you think old people still do it? Well, now I am an old people, because when I was like 15, I thought that my age in their 40s, I thought that was old people. So, and now I don't really look at people as old people anymore. Like, maybe if they're getting close to 100, then I'm like, oh, there's an old person, you know, like, but older than me, you know?
Yeah.
So it's good to know that people are still like, you know, maintaining a healthy sex life and having fun well into their golden years.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. And if you think about it, I mean, sex is the pleasure we are given for free. You know, we don't need to have buckets of money or mansions on the hill or anything. It's God given.
Yeah.
It's God given.
I love that too, because and it also, like, as you get older and you retire and find other things to do too, it's like, I mean, I think people that are enjoying sex well into their 70s and 80s are probably living longer too. You know, because it's just like you live and you got something to live for, you know, that
Absolutely.
and everything else. It's just complete. I know that, you know, I had 10 years of being single, and while I definitely had my hoe days, like, I'm definitely now, as remarried, having way more sex than I ever have in my entire life. So, you know, it's great. I definitely feel happier and like more fulfilled.
Yeah, absolutely.
All of
Absolutely.
that good stuff.
Well, Will and I, when we retired, our kids are grown. That was the freedom. And then it's like, you know,
Anytime, anywhere.
Yep.
And you guys like to travel in your camper, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
the camper's rocking. Don't
All
come
the
knocking.
time. All
Yeah.
the time. Yep.
I love that. Hey, Socrates, do you have any questions for Miss Kat here?
I do, actually, you know me. So, from your vantage point, how do you feel about the way society views sex? Do you think we've gone in the right direction, or we went in the right direction, maybe went a little too far? Like, how do you feel in general about the way our society treats sex with, especially young girls?
Well, yeah, that's a loaded question. I especially having raised girls, I hate the fact that the internet and back in my day it was the magazines. You have to look this way. You have to have this in order to be attractive, and everybody's boobs needs to look just like this. Everybody's vulva needs to look like this, and variety is the spice of life.
Right.
It's nobody looks the same. No two penises look the same, and you know we're good as we are. And I kind of feel bad for that because the young people are doing things to artificially enhance themselves when really they don't need to. They just need to get in touch with themselves and love them for who they are.
Well, and a lot of people do start looking alike.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
you know what I mean? Like the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, like, they all have the same hair, like, they all have like the same Botox schedule, they all have the same boob job. Like,
Yep.
you do start, you know, and I've had my boobs done, but I know I didn't need them. I wanted them, you know?
And
So there's nothing wrong with the enhancements, but like what you're saying too is like being confident and happy with what we have and then adding on from there. It's kind of like, oh, my car doesn't need these rims or these ground effects or that spoiler on the back, but it's fun and it's something that I want to add, you know?
it gives me pleasure.
Right.
I'm doing this for me. I'm not doing it for someone else. And I'm with my age. I mean, no one is ever going to mistake me for an 18-year-old. But I'm confident and comfortable in my skin. Some is a little bit more wiggly than others or drooping, but you know what? That's me.
Right.
That's me.
And it still feels good.
Yes.
Like,
Oh, it feels great.
right.
Yeah.
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 Sex feels good. Like, I don't have, I mean, I was a lot skinnier when I was younger, but it's like, just that extra cushion. Like, I don't even, you know, even men, like, I like them to, you know, I like my husband. He has a little bit of a dad bod and he's working out all the time, but I'm like, I like a little softness on anybody, man or woman.
Oh, I agree. I agree. Yeah. Give me something to hold.
I love it. What else do you got, babe?
I did want to share that, looked up the facts and figures, and continuing to have sex in your later years has a lot of health benefits. So
we're gonna
it
live
does-
forever.
It does help. Yeah.
Miss Kat
You're
and
gonna
Will
live
are gonna
forever,
live
yeah.
forever. I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So my next question is, you and Will, did you got you said, you were at your duty station and you guys were there, no parents, and I'm assuming that's when you really discovered your sexuality. Is that true?
Yes. But I was still good girls don't. Even though I was married, I still had that good girl don't mentality, and it should have been,
complete freedom at
Com-
that point.
yeah,
Like you're a
complete-
married woman.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I remember back in those days where we were, they had a downtown theater. And he and I went to the downtown theater, and it was a kind of a peep show. And back in those days, porno was on the videos, or not even the videos, the film. So it had that. So yeah, we did a lot of exploring that, but I still had a hard time. Well, I shouldn't enjoy this, even though I do, because I'm a good girl, I'm a good wife, I want to be respected, and it's just a lot of head games that was so unnecessary. But it's taken me a lifetime to, well, that was garbage, garbage out. I threw the garbage out.
well, and that's what inspired this podcast too, is like, I just felt differently from the time that I was in my first marriage. And so just the more people I would talk to, I'm like, women would be like, oh, I don't enjoy it. And because of this, and oh, it's a lot of work, and oh, did this and that. And it would just like, my heart would just hurt.
I know.
Because I was like, there is so much more. And I wasn't even having good sex in my first marriage. Like, it was like few and far between. Anyways, I talk about that a lot but on the podcast.
And that's
it's
that's
like
hurtful. That's hurtful.
right. But it's like, you know what? There doesn't have to be that way. But people, if we won't talk about it, how is anybody else supposed to learn?
Right.
Right. So I just want people to hope. My hope is that people will find this podcast. They'll hear stories of like people of all ages, of all backgrounds, of religious, of not religious. Eventually someday I'd love to interview one of my sisters who went through the purity culture and loved it. Right. And it's still like, her husband was her first kiss on her wedding day. They're still each other's only everything. And I'd like to hear from that too, because it doesn't all have to be didn't work, because it does work for some people. But for the most part, like the guilt and the shame and just all that stuff is like, it doesn't have to be. And then it just, it makes it so you can't fully open yourself up when you are married. So, that's what, you experience, and that's what I experienced too. So tell us about, like, unless it's going into the after dark stuff, was there like an awakening where you kind of like were able to, or has it just been a lifelong journey where that mental head games was there like a pivotal moment?
Yes, there was. And I can talk about it. Maybe you want to save that for
The after dark part?
the after dark
Let's
part.
do that, because
Yeah.
then we can dive into the real juicy stuff. Is there anything else we want to talk about on this side of things before we go over there? Some people are just really efficient with their story. Like Isla was like that too. On her podcast, it was like we talked for like 40 minutes and then we went over to the after dark. So can I ask like some a little
Absolutely.
bit juicier questions?
Absolutely.
I know you already told me I could, but I'm just like a permission person. So how often do you and Will have sex now? And you're in your 60s. Yeah. So how
Yeah.
often?
Yeah. Probably 6 times a week.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. There may be one day that we take off. But yeah. And our sex isn't just, hop on, hop off penetration. It could be like endless foreplay or just hugging and touching, cuddling together, naked, and that's okay too.
It's just that sexual connection
Yeah,
that you're
yeah.
getting.
I like that definition, and that means we have sex 7 days a week.
And that's beautiful.
Thank you.
That's beautiful. Yeah,
I haven't complained in a very long time, so you stop.
yeah.
Siren is gonna hate Kat now because I'm gonna use that forever. I'm like, what are you talking about? We have sex 7 days a week. What are you talking about? What do you mean?
I won't ask. I got a drawer. I got a drawer full of friends.
And they're all named Bob.
Right? Oh, Bob. Well, I like that though, because to me it's like it's about having that sexual connection is like just important, whether it's throughout the day, little things too, or it's the full on meal deal is what I call it.
And it's interesting as Will and I have aged. Spontaneity was great when we were younger, but now scheduling it. Okay, tonight we're going to have sex, or tonight we're going to do whatever, and looking forward to that and planning is as much fun because we know we're going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
We're going to enjoy
And then
it.
you can kind of think about it all day in your mind and
Yeah.
build it up. We should try that. I'm going to just start putting it on the calendar
Yeah,
and be like, tonight,
yeah,
all the things.
yeah.
He looks like,
The full deal. Absolutely. Absolutely.
he's like, this just means more work for me.
I don't know why you keep thinking the best thing to do is add more sexual requirements from me. I don't know. It's like, no. I'm still trying to keep up with the old stuff.
Well, like when we got married, he's like, we should have put it in the prenup, like this many times a week. And then I need a reset time.
And I find that with Will, I'm ready to go anytime. And yet he needs to reset. And that's just biology. And I'm okay with it very much. But I can tell that's hard for him because he remembers the young days where it was,
Anytime, anywhere,
Yep.
right? Just
yep,
the soldier is at attention and ready to go.
yep,
Right?
yep, and it's all good. We really need to learn how to communicate with each other and saying, this is fine. I understand you may not feel on top of things, but from my perspective, you're giving me what I need and what I want, and I'm happy. So, yeah.
Good advice.
Yeah.
Anything else, Socrates?
I mean, you keep asking. I got, I got questions for days.
Why don't we ask her one more question and then we'll wrap up this side of things.
Yeah. How would you describe the dynamic of your sexual interaction? Is there a kink mixed in? Is there do you guys like to do things in public? Is it more of like a dance with you guys? How would you categorize your sexual interaction with each other?
Kink, I really don't know about that. We have discovered things that we like very much and that we do. I guess that would be our sexual dance, so to speak. I'm a very sensual person, and not to saying I don't like a good spank now and then or whatever, but as far as degrading and things like that's nothing that turns either of us on. So I would say we have our own dance, and that very much continues to please, and we look forward to it. So, yeah.
All right. Well, Kat has a lot more to say about some discoveries that they made in their marriage, but we will hear about that on the Patreon side. So thank you for being here, and we'll talk to you on the other side.
Thank you.
No more waiting, no more chains, breaking rules, rewriting names. This is our time, this is our fire. Hear the call, we're rising higher. On your truth, live out loud. No more fear, stand up proud. You were made to rise. This is your time. Waves may crash, but we still stand. Hearts unchained, no demands. Follow the voice, hear the sound. Freedom's here, we've been found. The siren of freedom calling you home. No more hiding, let yourself roam. Rise with the tide, fearless and free. This is your destiny. Waves may crash, but we still stand. Hearts unchained, no demands. Follow the voice, hear the sound. Freedom's here, we've been found. The siren of freedom calling you home. No more hiding, let yourself roam. Rise with the tide, fearless and free. This is your destiny. The siren of freedom calling you home. No more hiding, let yourself roam. Rise with the tide, fearless and free. This is your destiny.
Thank you so much for listening today. We hope this podcast has been an encouragement to you. You can find us on our website, thesirenoffreedom.com, and also on social media and Patreon under the Siren of Freedom podcast. Your support is what helps us continue to sound the alarm of freedom.